So we are going to begin tonight with a land acknowledgement, and then I will hand things back to Jess for the remainder of our program. The Wakefield Human Rights Commission acknowledges that the lands we now call Wakefield are the ancestral homelands of the Massachusetts people, who have been the caretakers of the unceded land for centuries, and will continue to be for centuries to come. We are settlers. The Massachusetts people have been tirelessly striving for human rights, even in the face of land theft, genocide, and forced removal. The work we do to build a more unified, equal, and diverse community grows out of the efforts, leadership, and guidance of countless Native communities. We commit to honoring this continued Native activism as we do our work. In doing so, we dedicate time in our meetings throughout the year to help educate those in the community about the Native people of Massachusetts, past, present, and their work towards the future. We stand with the Massachusetts Indigenous Legislative Agenda in celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day in place of Columbus Day.
Hey everybody, welcome to the annual Wakefield Pride event, and happy Pride! Woo! I'm going to read from my phone, which I'm a little bit embarrassed about, but it will keep me to time as opposed to if I just start talking, in which case I would hold you all here as hostages. So, I'm Jess Sudich. I'm the new chair of the WHRC, the Wakefield Human Rights Commission. And to start off, I'd like to thank the town of Wakefield and the AmeriCal Civic Center, the DBW, the Town Council, WCAT, thank you so much. My fellow WHRC members. NAGLY is here. PFLAG of Greater Boston is here. Thank you so much. They've got tables. Please get their information. We have a table, some swag down there, and some snacky candy kinds of things, or should I say C-A-N-D-Y, as I say to my toddler. We'd like to thank anybody. Candarella's Bakery provided cookies today, so thank you to them. Yes, woo! And thank you also to all the volunteers. Thank you, Eileen Rooney, who helped me to figure out what to do. Thank you very much. And if I have missed anybody to say thank you to, please grab me, and I will thank you. I'll just thank everybody all night long. So it is a lovely night, so thank you, weather. And also, it's great to raise the progress flag today and celebrate diversity and inclusivity in Wakefield. Oh my gosh, that's my toddler. So thank you to her. Here. Hi, buddy. So this is the reason why I volunteered. I wanted to get involved in the community of Wakefield, and I wanted to try to reach out to my neighbors. As I've been here for 2 years now, it's been such a great community, and we've met so many great people. And I think that that's really the part of this that's been so important to me, because in the echo chamber of my own news feed, I can sometimes get lost and begin to see what makes us different. But meeting our neighbors and coming out as a community really helps us to both celebrate our differences, but see all of the things that make us similar and that we can bond over. And I think that that makes us stronger as a community. Today we have a bunch of great speakers. We've got Voices of Steel from the high school who are going to do some songs. And so to begin, because Pride is about celebration, we are going to begin with a song. They're going to sing Come Go With Me. So take it away.
Darling, we will never you never say I love you.
We'll say
You never give me a chance. Whoa, whoa. Dum, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. You never say I love you. You never give me a chance. Whoop, whoop. Dum, 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 whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey, thanks so much. So to get things started, we are going to have John Chines from the Town Council is going to come up and say a few words. And that was really great. And you guys can kind of be wherever you need to be. Relax.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Pride Month. Thank you for joining us today. I am here as one of the two town councilors today who'll be speaking you, and on behalf of the entire town council in the town of Wakefield, it really is an honor to be here to welcome you. I want to first start by acknowledging and thanking the people who made this event possible. So there is a lot of work that goes into planning this and assembling this tremendous crowd that we have today. And so to Jess Sudich, to Jill Diamond, to Sherry Oken from the Human Rights Commission, Eileen Rooney, who volunteered as well, thank you for helping to put all of this together. It definitely takes a village to do this, and you guys were that village. So how about a round of applause for them? I also do have to put in a plug to say, if you like seeing events like this doesn't happen by accident. This happens because people help put it together. So if you have any interest in seeing more of this, helping to make this happen, please consider volunteering for the Human Rights Commission, joining the Human Rights Commission, or any of the other boards and commissions in town, because that's how these things happen. They happen when people come and raise their hands to help out. So please consider doing that, and thank you in advance for doing so. I do also want to take a moment to recognize some of my fellow elected officials who are here today. It's a testament to the leadership of this town that so many people have showed up to show their support for what we're doing and what we're speaking for here today. And so with apologies if I do miss anyone, I think I got everyone on my list, but I do want to acknowledge my colleagues from the Town Council, Chair Mike McLean, Vice Chair Ed Dombrowski, Councillor Maureen Butt, who'll be speaking in a couple of minutes as well, Bob Vincent and Doug Butler. From the school committee, Chair Stephen Ingalls, Kevin Piscadlo, Kevin Fontanella, Pete Davis, and Melissa Quinn. From the Board of Health, Candace Linehan. The Board of Assessors, Dave Ladon. From the Planning Board, Matthew Lowry. The Gas and Light Commission, Tom Betcher. Our town moderator, Bill Carroll. And of course, our Senator Jason Lewis and our Representative Donald Wong for being here as well. I did hear from Representative Kate Lipper-Garabedian, who was unable to make it, but sends her acknowledgments as well. So thank you all of you for joining us here today. I also do want to acknowledge our town administrator, Steve Mayo. So not only does this take a lot of volunteers, but it takes a lot of people from town helping out. And Steve, as the administrator and as the leader of all of the folks that came today to help make all of this happen, we appreciate your contributions and your support as well, Steve. Thank you. So I have to admit that as this year's Progress Flag raising approached, it's been a little bit of a source of anxiety for me. Because even though this is the 6th year in a row that we've flown the Pride or the Progress flags here at the AmeriCal Civic Center, our ability this year to do so was under threat and was questioned in ways which we hadn't seen in any of the years prior. And so for me, the joy, the anticipation that's characterized this event for so many years, as it has, I know, for many of the people here, seemed to be hijacked and overshadowed by feelings of impatience or misunderstanding and outright intolerance. We saw it on social media, which was littered with negative and hateful comments about this event and the people who've planned it over the years. We've seen in the town council a number of ridiculous requests to fly flags that conveyed messages of intolerance and hate, claiming a false equivalency with the message of acceptance and love that we spread today. And we had to defend the flying of the Progress flag and the Juneteenth flag at town meeting just a few weeks ago. And I know that none of these sentiments are new, and I know that none of this negativity is new, but it's still been jarring. But I will tell you, something happened for me a couple of weeks ago when we were at town meeting, because despite this undercurrent of questioning, of exclusion, of intolerance, I heard neighbor after neighbor stand up to send a different message. I heard veterans, like my friend and colleague, Councillor Bob Vincent, speak about serving in defense not only of the American flag, but in defense of the ideals of freedom and tolerance and mutual respect that the flag must represent. I heard parents and teachers, some of whom who are here today, talk about how our children are struggling to be seen and heard and loved, and are looking for a sign that this is a community where all those things are true. And I heard young people express bewilderment that in the 21st century we're still having this discussion as to why flying this flag is important. And when all was said and done, after hearing those stories, I also saw our friends and neighbors stand up overwhelmingly for tolerance, for justice, and for love by voting to continue to allow ceremonies like this to happen today, and I'm so grateful for that. And so I do say today that, thank you. And so I stand up here today as someone whose heart is full. I know that this fight is long from over, but I know that our progress is clear. And as your presence today demonstrates and your support demonstrates, we're a community that welcomes and loves all of our neighbors. And my belief that history is on the side of acceptance and love is reaffirmed today. So thank you for being here. Thank you for helping to make all of that true, and for showing your support for the LGBT community here in Wakefield and beyond this community. Thank you so much today. So I now have the honor of turning it over to one of my friends and colleagues, Councillor Maureen Butt, to say a few words, both from the town council perspective and as the liaison to the Human Rights Commission. And I want to start by saying two things about Maureen. First of all, today is her birthday, so give her a big round of applause. But second of all, Maureen has been fighting this fight for many, many years. I've had the good fortune of knowing her for 25 years, and she is someone who has stood up for justice and stood up for equality for all of that time in college and her years of public service afterwards, and has been a tremendous resource both to the town council, and the Human Rights Commission. So Maureen, I invite you to come up.
Hi all, that was unnecessary, but I tell everyone today called me and wished me happy birthday. Thank you for those that did it and asked what I was doing, and I said I was going to the Pride flag raising and there was nowhere else I would rather be today. So I am grateful to spend today with all of you. And thank you for all coming out today and being part and witnessing this beautiful tradition that we've done in our town. We are gathered today, like we have since 2019, to celebrate Pride Month. A reminder that Pride Month is celebrated in June because of the Stonewall riots. The riots were a protest that took place in 1969 in the U.S. Pride is a celebration of people coming together in love and friendship. It shows how far the LGBTQ plus community have come and how in some places there's still work to be done. For me, the month is a reminder to honor how far we have come and remind ourselves of how much more work we need to do. So today, I recommit to making our community safe for LGBTQ plus friends, the importance of being a good ally, celebrating one another, and holding each other up. We must do better in the face of anti-LGBTQI plus laws across the country and the prejudices that still exist here in Massachusetts. Let this month serve as a reminder to work intentionally across all faiths, all backgrounds, all sexualities, and all identities. This flag standing in the middle of our town, next to our middle school, shows our commitment to protecting members of our community. As an ally, I want to say to all my neighbors who are part of this community, you are loved, You are seen. You are safe here. You are needed. You are unique. You are enough. You are you. You are valid. You are heard. And you matter. Happy Pride Month, Wakefield.
Thank you so much, and happy birthday, Maureen. I'll have them all sing to you later. Do I have the authority to do that? All right, so thank you so much. The next person we've got coming up is Peter Conrad from Nagley. Thank you. They've got a table down there. Please pick up information, and without further ado, welcome. Oh, I have one more thank you I forgot to do. Thank you to the Wakefield Police Department. I see you there and there. I appreciate you coming out. And if I remember more thanks, I'll just keep rolling them out.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? My name's Peter Conrad. I'm the board president at NAGLY, the North Shore Alliance for LGBTQ Youth. First, I'd like to thank the Human Rights Commission, the town of Wakefield, the AmeriCal, and all of you for coming out tonight to demonstrate your support for inclusion, for community, and for people of all backgrounds who are part of the LGBTQ community. So a little bit about NAGLY. In our 5,200 square foot space in downtown Salem, we provide a safe and affirming environment for social, emotional, and mental health support, for educational activities, and we also have satellite groups in Lynn, Gloucester, and Newburyport that meet on a less frequent basis. But in our space, we have meetings across the board, social events, support group meetings, and as I said, we now have a licensed mental health clinician that is in the space for part of the time, particularly drop-in hours. So there's a lot of support there. So just a minute, and sorry to sort of go into sort of more important but piece, but the reason NAGLY is here because of what was mentioned about how difficult it is for LGBTQ people across the country, particularly trans and non-binary, and also that there's still bullying even in our schools everywhere, and it's tough on kids that see this stuff happen online or on the news or whatever. So it's really important that we have your support. But also, I just wanted to point out that the Trevor Project, which does a lot of work around LGBTQ youth, did a study last year that showed that 41% of LGBTQ youth seriously considered taking their own lives. And that is 50% for those who are trans and non-binary. However, other research shows that when an LGBTQ youth has at least one adult support person in their life, that number drops by 25%. If they have 3 or more, it drops by 50%. So with all of your help, we hope we can really address that issue. So all kids, youth today are facing a wide variety of issues, but more so in the LGBTQ community, and that's why we really need to, all the parents and all the kids out there who are LGBTQ or allies, that organizations like NAGLY are here to support you. And Also, I wanted to point out that NAGLI has a very wide reach. We had 400 individual youth participate in our programs last year. We also, from 40 different communities north of Boston, and resulting in about 2,700 visits to NAGLI spaces. So with that said, I'd like to thank you all again for being out here tonight, for showing your support, for inspiring all of us at NAGLI and our youth and your community by standing up when it's not always easy to do that. So thank you very much, and happy Pride.
Thank you so much. I will take a brief moment to say thank you to my parents who are here. They live in town. But yeah, I myself have had, I'm gay. You saw my daughter come up here. My wife is here somewhere. Actually, she might be bringing my daughter out to have ice cream, which is a requisite. But it took me a while to figure out Pride myself. When I was a youth, I didn't have enough representation out there, and so I didn't really see anything that I felt like I fit into. And it took me a long time. It took me a long time to figure things out. Which, what a waste of time. What a waste of my teens when I was just confused. So seeing events like this and seeing how much things have changed is so great, and yet also seeing how many things we still need to change is important, and how much I've learned. And my eye is on this issue, and yet I learn new things every day. I learn more information on how I can be inclusive, how I can change my own language. I was remiss in mentioning my pronouns. I am she, her. There are so many reasons to just keep learning and keep listening, and to be there for your community members to find out how you can just make them feel better. Because why not make people feel better? It doesn't take, why not? So I now am going to introduce Representative Wong, and he's going to say a few words. Oh, you chose to do all the steps? So Representative Donald Wong will say a few words, and then, hi. Thank you so much, and welcome.
I guess I'm not that tall. It's an honor to be here, and I'm proud to be here. I'm going to do one exercise, and if everyone can participate, I would love to see it. Clasp your hand together and put out both index fingers and look in between and tell me what happens. You can bring your fingers a little closer if nothing's happening. Are they coming together? Okay. So what happened is, this is the world coming together. The two index finger. One is you and one is the community. You are not alone because we're coming together. And I'm so proud to be here, and so proud that so many people are here. And I just have to take a picture of you. You know, I'm used to so many people taking picture of the politician. We gotta take a picture of the people. Thank you.
Next up, we've got Senator Jason Lewis, who will say a few words. Come on up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jess. I'm glad you're not confused anymore. It's always good to be a little bit confused. But thank you to Jess. Thank you to all the members, the Wakefield Human Rights Commission. Thank you all for being here. What a beautiful evening to gather together as we kick off Pride Month. Pride Month, as we know, is a wonderful opportunity to celebrate the strength and the diversity and the joy and the love in the LGBTQ plus community. And I'm so thrilled to be able to join you tonight. Thank goodness that we live in a place that affirms and protects our LGBTQ plus family members, our friends, and our neighbors. In 1989, Massachusetts was the second state in the nation to prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation. That's pretty good, although I wish we were the first. In 2004, we were the first state to recognize same-sex marriage and blazed a path for the entire nation. More recently, we passed a law to protect access to gender-affirming health care. And just last month, the state Senate included provisions as part of our annual state budget debate to ensure that Massachusetts residents can change their gender identity on official documents like birth certificates, marriage certificates, and driver's licenses. And I'm very hopeful that will be on the governor's desk very soon. But as we know, this is not the case in many other parts of our country. More than 500 pieces of anti-LGBTQ plus legislation have been filed by state lawmakers in other states. Some have even been signed into law, including bans against educational materials, gender-affirming care, and books, simply because they feature LGBTQ plus characters. Trans people, especially trans youth, have faced hateful rhetoric, discrimination, and physical violence. We, even though we may not face these threats in our own communities, we must stand up and raise our voices and speak out for LGBTQ plus rights, which after all are human rights. Because, as MLK said so famously, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Back here in Wakefield and in Massachusetts, there is also a lot more that we can and must do to expand these rights and protections and opportunities for all. For example, I'm advocating on Beacon Hill for new legislation to protect against book banning efforts that we have seen even in some of our communities, for example, next door in Reading, in school and public libraries. And another thing we need to do, some of you may be familiar with, we need to pass an update to our parental rights law in Massachusetts. And I'm very hopeful that will also be happening in the near future. Last thing I want to mention is the Massachusetts Commission on LGBTQ youth recently released a very important new report. It's long, over 300 pages, but I recommend you take a look at it. They have lots of recommendations for additional steps that we should be taking in our own communities and at the state level. Just to mention a few of those, ensuring that we have strong anti-bullying and anti-harassment policies and protections in all of our public schools and our institutions of higher education. Critically important, more support, more resources for mental health care and for suicide prevention efforts, which of course is important for the well-being of all of our youth. And then third, it's great that we protect access to gender-affirming care, but we have to make sure it's actually accessible and available for all those who need it. So expanding coverage of gender-affirming care is also among their recommendations. There are a lot more, and again, I encourage you to take a look. Together, we will continue to fight for a more just and a more inclusive and a more loving society that treats every single person with respect and dignity. Thank you all, and happy Pride.
All right, everybody. Do you want to raise the flag? All right. So as we raise the flag, the Voices of Steel will be performing Light of a Clear Blue Morning. Are you all set? All right, let's raise that flag. Happy Pride, everybody.
Everything's gonna be alright. It's been all wrong. 'Cause I can see the light of a bright morning. Oh, I can see the light of day. I can see the light of a bright morning. Everything's gonna be alright. It's okay. And I can see the light of the light. I can see the light. I can see. I can see the light. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay.
Thank you so much. You have really beautiful voices, and I appreciate you. So we've got Reverend Brett Johnson, who will do the blessing, and then we will have one more song, and that will bring us to a close. Thank you so much so far for being out here, and
Thanks. Thank you.
thank you.
I can see the light. Wow, that was fantastic. Can you sing Happy Birthday? Think you can? Pick any pitch, and her name is Mayreen. Birthday to you. Everybody can sing. Happy birthday, dear Mary. Happy birthday to you. Woo-hoo! Happy birthday. So I am the Reverend Brett Johnson, and I am the priest at Emmanuel Episcopal Church, which is down that way. And I want to tell you something. God is not intolerant. So thank you for reminding us that the love that is in the LGBTQIA plus community is here right now. Every single person in my parish welcomes you. We want you to know that you are cherished, you belong, you are wanted, and that's my story there. But what I've been asked to do this evening is I've been asked, like last year, to bless you, which seems kind of to me counter to what we are, because I believe you are already blessed. Every single one of you was created by the one who created this. Look around. It is astounding how beautiful this day is, and that created you. You are blessed. So the words I'm about to say are really the blessing that you give one another. So we'll do what we did last year. Put your hands up. My congregation's used to this. So this is a position, a posture of blessing. Come on, you can do this. There we go. So I'm going to say words, and you're going to look around and say these in your mind to the people around you. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Spirit of creation, we know you by many names. God, ground of being, Gaia, higher power, Jesus the Christ, Allah, beloved, divine Sophia. Bless us, your people, as we gather to celebrate in these coming days. Bless our pride in who we are, in all our diversity, as gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered, intersex, two-spirited, questioning, and straight people, as an expression of your creative love. Come on, keep the hands up. We priests have to do it all the time. Bless our differences so that we may draw strength from them. Bless our celebrations that it may show our joy in loving and living and health and hope. Bless those for whom it takes great courage to be alive and present, that they may not feel alone. Bless those who teach us about courage and wisdom. Bless those who support us and work for our freedom and justice. Not much longer. Keep them up. Bless our calls for equality as we seek to live out your call for justice and for the flourishing of all your people. And now look at the flag and put your hand up. Bless this Progress Pride flag as it flies over Wakefield, our town, a visible symbol of the justice and peace we work for, and today that we celebrate. And now we all say, may it be so, and we say, Amen. Happy Pride.
You know, somebody asked me what a good song would be for a progress flag rising. And I didn't know. I kind of thought for a moment we should just bring a karaoke machine out and all sing together, because on some level that felt right. But I think that you've chosen well, and all the songs have been beautiful so far. And we're going to close this event out with the Barbie medley. And I couldn't think of anything better.
Close my eyes, it's a fantasy, perfect plastic life from a magazine. Then when I wake up, it's reality. I can have it all, live my Barbie dreams. So cool. All the dogs just playing by the pool. It's her, and her, me and you, and pink. Girls love me, beautiful from head to toe, ready to go, you know, and pink. I love to drink. Do you like how their colors smell? Round and round and round and round and round and round and ooh ah. Baby, you can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. Turn the rhythm on, don't you know? Just come along for the ride. My outfit's so tight, I can see my heartbeat tonight. I can take the heat, baby, let's believe that's the moment I shine. 'Cause every romance shakes and it bends, baby, let's dance.
When the night's here, I don't do tears, baby, no chance. I can dance, I can dance, I can dance. Dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Dance, dance the night away. I still keep the party running, not one hair out of place.
When my heart breaks,
they never see it, never see it.
when my world shakes,
I feel alive, I feel alive.
I don't play it safe.
Ooh,
Don't you know about me?
I can dance, I can dance, I can dance.
Doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number two.
Here's how hard I try.
Oh, why I have feelings that I can't explain, driving me insane.
Life been so polite. Sleep alone tonight.
'Cause I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be content. Isn't my destiny to live a life of unity. I'm just Ken. Where I see love, she sees a friend. What will it take to her to see the man behind the tent? Fight for me.
Whoa.
I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be content. Isn't my destiny to live a life of fragility? I'm just Ken. Where I see love, she sees a friend. What will it take for her to see the man behind the tent and fight for me? I'm just Ken, and I'm enough, and I'm great at doing stuff. So hey, you wanna check me out? Yeah, I'm just Ken. Baby, I'm just Ken.
Thanks, everybody. Happy Pride! Woo! Thanks so much. Thanks to Voices of Steel. Thanks to all of you. And mingle around, chat with each other.